Hello everyone, El Mescalero Shaves here. Welcome to my channel and thank you so much for being here with me today. So I actually tried getting on the TRC live chat right now and my request wouldn't go through for some reason to join the live chat. And so then I find myself here alone, right? I've got all this stuff here in my shave studio ready to shave and chat and I find myself all alone. I'm like, what am I going to do? It's going to be so boring just shaving here all by myself, So I figured, well, I'll just hit record on the camera and start recording a video. I have no material prepared to go over what I'm going to talk about. So this video, I'm just going to wing it. Actually, you know what? I could talk about some things that some people have been requesting me to talk about. But first, let's go over what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Prismatic from PAA. I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using a feather blade, Ariana and Evans Barbiere Classico. This smells so good. And I'm going to be using their aftershave splash also. Geo Fat Boys Shave Nation Allen Block. This is actually a 3D printed shave brush that my buddy at work printed out for me. And this is a PAA 24 scent knot here. And let's see, I'll be using Sterling's Glacial Unscented Shave Soap, or I'm sorry, pre-shave soap. And yeah, I believe that is it. I'm all ready to go, so I'm going to get my face wet here, put some pre-shave on, and I'll start talking about some things that people have actually stopped me and requested me to talk about. And a lot of people don't know what my YouTube channel, what the name is, El Mescalero. So Native Americans, especially the Apache tribe, you guys know us as the Apache tribe. We don't call ourselves Apache. Apache is a name given to us by the Zuni tribe. And the Zuni tribe is a tribe located in New Mexico in the Zuni River Valley. It was given to us by them and by the Spaniards. And the word Apache means enemy. Yeah. We don't call ourselves Apache. We're not the enemy. Actually, we call ourselves Inde or Dene, which means the people or people. The word Apache means enemy, but you just think of it as an Indian tribe. The word Apache is just an umbrella word for a group of tribes. So like in the Mexico area where the border's at there, you have us, which are the Mescaleros. And then in Arizona, you have the Lipan Apache tribe. And then in New Mexico, Arizona, Chiricahua tribes. That's what we call ourselves, Inde, Dene, or Mescalero, Chiricahua, Lipan. We really don't call each other Apaches. What are you talking about? I'm not your enemy. Getting ready to load my razor here. This Prismatic, I've never used it before, but I hear it's pretty mild, so I'm going to try to increase that blade gap. So I'm going to lay my feather blade down here, and then I'm actually going to shim it with another. I cut the sharp sides off of, I should say. Maybe I won't be able to shim this because it's not lining up. Like I said, I'm just winging this video now because I didn't have any material, because I was actually going to do a live shave with the razor company, but my request to join did not go through. So anyway, I'm actually putting it together with one razor blade in there, and it feels like there's a little bit of blade reveal on the ends here. And yeah, there is. You could see my camera does not like to focus up close for some reason. But anyway, you can see my blade reveal there on that edge, that closed comb edge, and then my blade reveal. And there you can see the overhang or the blade reveal on the edges a little bit. So anyway, yeah, when we receive, and when I say we, I mean like Native Americans, when we receive products that have the essence of life, which is all the products, we try to pay respect to whatever we're using, especially unless it's like metal or something, especially if it has essence of life, because that life was given and now the essence of that life is being shared with you, whether it be in shave soaps that have beef tallow, which came from a living animal. It has a lot of seed oils and other, plant-based ingredients that also came from a living plant. And what I like to do is, it's just like going to the mountains, going for a hike, and asking the mountain to protect you and keep you safe, right? So what you want to do is, you can't just go up there and ask for something and not give something in return. So I try to get the purest tobacco that I can and make a tobacco offering, because tobacco is a very, very powerful tool that we use using to make offerings and whatnot. Like I said, I'm going to stumble a little bit because I wasn't prepared to do a video. I was going to do a live chat and just talk about whatever questions anybody on that live chat had for me. So I've got this shave soap on my brush. I'm going to start painting it on my face. Because like I said, I just hit record. I just hit record on the phone here, and I just started recording. So let's let's see, I'm going to try to get a better load here. There's not enough on this brush. So anyway, yeah, so what I do when I get these products, guys, is I will go outside and I will first and foremost acknowledge the great creator, right? Give all glory to God first. And then I will make my tobacco offering to the animal. I doubt it gave its life for this product, but it did give its life. And now its essence is in this product. And there we go. That looks a lot better. And it's probably in a lot of other products, right? So you want to give thanks for the food that you eat, whether it be plant-based or animal-based, because something gave its life so you can have that. And the tobacco plant is so powerful to us that that's a plant that we believe God gave us to use to pay respect. Okay, now I got too much soap on this brush. I got a lot of soap on this brush. And this Ariana and Evans Barbiere Clásico, it smells so good. Funny story about tobacco offerings. My son, he had this tomato plant that would not grow. And he had a lot of other plants in his garden that were just blooming. But this one plant in this pot, this tomato plant in the pot would not bloom. It would not grow. It didn't do anything. In fact, you couldn't even tell anything was planted there. It was just dirt. And this is such a beautiful knot. It's so nice. He said, well, he lives in the concrete jungle, right? So he says, there's really not dirt around here. I'm just going to make a tobacco offering in this pot where I tried to plant this tomato plant in, and it didn't take, so now it's just dirt. So he made his tobacco offering in that pot. He said like a week later he came out and the tomato plant was growing, and that really shocked him. He was like, I tried everything to get this plant to grow and it wouldn't grow. He said, then I made a tobacco offering in that pot and walked away and never paid attention to it because it's just dirt, right? There's really nothing to pay attention to there as far as like plant life or anything. And then he happened to walk by and notice that there's a tomato plant growing out of there, just out of the blue after making a tobacco offering. Anyway, that's a really interesting story. I thought I'd share that with you guys because that was really interesting. He called me right away and told me about it, and he was just so excited. I was like, man, everything is connected. And we seem to get away from that. We seem to forget that everything is connected. Everything has a connection. All life is connected in some way. And we shouldn't forget that we should pay respect to life, because once life is here and it's gone, it's gone. And not just conscious life like ours, right? Plant life, yeah, you can grow plants every year, but it's never the same plant. It's the same kind of plant, but it's never the same plant. Okay, I'm going to start. This is actually a really nice little razor. I received it and I just put it up on my shelf and never really paid much attention to it. But yeah, this is really nice. I knew I wanted it because this guy is paying homage to all the old vintage Gillette razors, I believe. Maybe not just Gillette, but European-made ones, British-made ones, just to the vintage razors. And I really like that the wrench channel at the bottom underneath here, it's completely goes all the way across. So, yeah, I don't know. My camera, my phone's old. I got to get a better phone. So anyway, we'll start up here. A lot of audible feedback there. So anyway, yeah, I think it'd be really important for everybody that's on this earth to remember how important life is. Especially nowadays that you see a lot of stuff on the news and social media, and where humanity is just becoming so hateful with one another, and we're being segregated and separated, and there's people that thrive in with that information, and get online and you can see people supporting the hate. That's really bad. People happy about what's going on and throughout the world. There's people dying just because you don't know these people. If you feel that way, that yeah, what's going on should be happening, that's very sad, because we should all love each other and realize that we are all on this little tiny rock swirling around this universe together. We think the world is so big, the earth is so big, and I belong here, but you don't. Go back to where you came from. Where am I going to go? It's earth. We're all here together, It's just crazy to me. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. But I think it's very important for all people in all nations, in all cultures to come together. Very, very important. We're losing that. Like Reagan said, we ain't going to come together as a people until we have a threat from outside of our own world, right? Like if there was an alien threat from outer space, I'm sure we'd come together real quick. And then we'd be saying, oh, that's my brother. It's just so sad nowadays. So anyway, I'm just going off. So another thing I wanted to talk about that a lot of people ask my age, how old I am. Because I'm always calling myself an old man, right? Oh, this old man that, and this old man this. So people always ask me, how old are you really? And I never tell people how old I am. And so I won't tell you how old I am, but I'll tell you a story of how old I am without giving you my age, my exact age. I'll tell you a couple stories. So back in 1976 is when the first Rocky movie came out. And when that movie came out, it changed It was so powerful of a movie. It actually changed the culture here in America. You'd get up early in the morning and you would see guys jogging down the neighborhood. Everybody's going to become a boxer back then. Everyone is going to become a boxer. The boxing world just blew up. Across the nation. Across the nation, boxing blew up. The boxing gyms just were full all the time. Rocky was so powerful as far as changing the culture, probably of the world. I know it definitely changed the culture here in America. And it really did. There was negatives. There's always negatives and positives, right? So yeah, there was negatives. It really did fuel the hate between the Italian community and the black community. And so anyway, yeah, Rocky was very powerful. It changed the culture. In my eyes, it changed the culture. When I was younger, I seen that, and I was like, that is pretty wild. All the boxing gyms blew up. Everybody was going to be a boxer, and it was really neat to see. And another thing that the Rocky film did was Rocky came out I know it was November. I don't remember if it was November 1st, November 14th, 1976. I'm going to go against the grain here. But anyway, it came out in November, and everybody in November, we're all getting ready for Thanksgiving, right? We go to the movies to watch Rocky, and what's Rocky doing in that movie? Rocky's having Thanksgiving in the movie. And things really didn't connect like that back then. You went to go be entertained or, be surprised, but you're not going to go and share something very intimate like that with somebody in the movies. That is like they're doing their own thing. That's not even real, but it made it real. It made Rocky real for a lot of people because he was having Thanksgiving and we were getting ready to have Thanksgiving. That was huge. That actually was very huge back then. You really didn't see that back then. And so the movie Rocky, it connected with a lot of people. It was pretty neat. Just stuff I talk about when you give me the opportunity to ramble on, and I don't have no material about any product that I'm using. I'm just going off and saying whatever's in my head. Yeah, I also, as far as going back to the tobacco offerings, I have soap that I haven't used and I put it to a side because I usually don't get one at a time, right? So I'll put it to a side, and all the soaps that I haven't used, I will take them, gather them all together, and then do a tobacco offering to the earth, to the animals, to the plants. And first and foremost, I give credit to the creator, right? Because we're all here walking on this earth. We're all here on this earth. We all have life because of him. You have to acknowledge him first and foremost above everything. In my belief, I'm not telling you what you need to do or what you should do. I'm just telling you what I do. Let's talk about UFOs. Anybody see a UFO? So if you have, leave a comment. I'd like to be interested. I'm interested in that, hearing about that, because that's like just so far out of anything we're taught. Like UFOs ain't in our culture, not in our science. It's UFOs ain't anywhere. That's why they're so mysterious and interesting. But when I was a kid, we grew up in an apartment complex that we called the Projects. This was back in 1979. A bunch of us went out to go play horse. There was a little playground at the Projects, and all the kids they were always either playing or fighting out there, and us older kids, we were always at the basketball courts, and we were shooting hoops. We were playing horse. I don't know if anybody knows what the game of horse is with the basketball on the basketball court, but we used to play horse a lot because horse really helped us perfect our shots, right? Trying to make the basketball into the hoop. And we all gathered together, and there was like 6 of us maybe. And it's really weird because we went out there and there was a bunch of kids. There was a bunch of kids playing in the park, and there was a UFO hovering over the basketball court. And none of these little kids ever noticed that UFO was hovering over the basketball courts. They were just playing. No, it was big too. It was really big, not massive big, but I remember it being a pretty good size. We were just shocked. It was silent. It wasn't spinning. It wasn't moving. It was just floating there. And we all kind of looked at each other, and you could tell none of us, we were having a hard time processing what we were seeing. Well, what do? We're kids, right? We start grabbing rocks and we start chucking rocks at it, trying to hit it because it was that low. It was crazy. This was back in 1979, and it was hovering. Like, why are you hovering over a basketball court at their Projects? You got nuclear facilities, you got military facilities. I'm sure there's a lot more important places that UFO could be. Why are you hovering over a basketball court in the Projects? I don't know if we ever hit it. You couldn't hear the rocks hitting it or anything. It was silent. It was so strange, so weird, very eerie. But I remember that. I remember that clear, and I will remember that till the day I die. It was just floating there silent. Pretty strange, man. And it was shaped just like a flying saucer, just like the old flying saucers that they talk about from the 40s. That's what it looked like. That's what I remember it looked like. It wasn't very, very tall. It was real big and round, and it was saucer shaped. Somebody tried giving me crap because I wasn't raised on a reservation. Sorry, but I was a child. It wasn't up to me. I've actually been called not a real Indian because I wasn't raised on the res. You go and you do what your parents tell you to do. You're not going to be a 5-year-old kid and say, I'm moving to the reservation because I'm an Indian. It's not up to you. Your family tries to do the best they can, and you live the life that you're living, right? It's not up to you as a kid. But, like I said, there's a lot of good people out there. I go to an indigenous people's group, and those people are so loving and so caring. And, even the elders that you run into, none of them frown on you because you weren't raised on a reservation. It's a lot of the younger reservation, I believe. Pretendians, I think they call us pretendians. There have been other groups of people that have done a really good job of separating us. We don't need your help. Don't need your help separating us anymore. I'm just going to feel around here on my mustache a little bit because I don't know if I got it all really well. Nope, that feels good. I'm going to do a rinse real quick and see where I'm at with this. Okay, guys, that feels pretty good. I'm going to run over my face with the Allen block here. I got the Allen block wet. I got my face wet. That's really strange. I don't feel anything. That's a good little razor. Clean me up real well without going too deep or taking too much off because I don't feel anything. Oh yeah, I love that. That's amazing. I didn't expect that little razor to do such an efficient job. Okay, I don't feel any stinging there. I don't feel nothing there. So yeah, real good little razor. The Prismatic, I believe it's called. You guys, yeah, pick this guy up from PAA. This is a really good little razor. All right, I'm going to rinse this Allen block off my face and we'll get some aftershave splash on. Okay, guys. Excuse me. That was actually a very good shave. That was a great shave. I love when I get shaves like that, So I really appreciate you guys sticking around. For those of you that stuck around to the end of this video, thank you for sticking around and listening to me talk about nothing and everything. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna get some of this splash. Oh, it smells lovely. That's so nice. And I don't remember if this guy had a bunch of alcohol in it. I hope it does. Let's get it on our face here. Nope, not much of a burn. That smells really, really good, man. I got such a good shave. Awesome little razor. Kind of reminds me of the Merkur 34C. I actually just ordered the Merkur Progress, so I'm waiting for that guy to come in. I've got a lot of this splash on my face, and it's kind of like a cream color too, so it's not clear splash. It's got a little bit of alcohol in it. I could feel a little tiny bit of a burn, but really nothing to really talk about. But all right, it's super early in the morning. Not super early. It's actually kind of late, to be honest with you. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. So it's getting late. Everybody knows I'm an early bird. When I get up in the mornings, the only others that are awake are the birds, the worms, maybe a couple other people. I love seeing the sun light everything up in the mornings. It's fantastic. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to stop rambling. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please like, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. It really helps me out. And yeah, till we meet next time. Hey, you guys take care of yourselves here. God bless.